We now return.
Welcome back. Excuse me, I'm still trying to get over this cold. Welcome back though. Tonight we're gonna do something different. We are going to go into sort of like a tutorial mode. I'm not saying that I know everything about the game or that I am some type of authority, but I played the game a lot and I learned a lot of stuff, and I've seen a lot of guys out there just kind of struggling with some of the basic stuff that I did. So I guess since I stream every Torpedo Tuesdays, you know what I'm saying, let's just think out everything tonight and let's just say what is going behind every action we take, and hopefully we can learn some people. Ha ha ha! Removed. You made it on time, man. All right, let's go into the settings, man. So okay, this gameplay stuff, this doesn't really matter too much. This might sonar recording history, I have it on 8. Transition speed normal, I have never messed with this stuff. Add external display 0, none. Even though I do have one, I'm not using it with the game. Okay. Invert off. All right. My guess is that it's this one is that you want to know about, right? Let's start at the top. Full screen on. I found out that when it's off, it might give you some performance. You have to test that yourself. My display resolution, I'm playing on a 4K TV. Okay, so this is my resolution. Yours is probably most normal people play in 1080p, 1920 1080p. Let's not move this. This is my TV's native resolution. Some people say that to go lower or higher from your native resolution makes your GPU work, which kind of makes some sense. Overall quality, medium. I've heard some people say that it didn't really matter, but I got it to a point where I could get a playable game. Okay, real-time station rendering, interactable. This puts the decoration screens up that you can't interact with. If you change them all to interactable, then that means all of the screens are the real fire control, real sonar screens. So you definitely have a lot more graphic data coming through that slows things down. But I don't like the way they have the fake screens up there, because the fake screens have contacts on them and all types of stuff, and it's like, whoa, what the hell is going on? Oh, okay, that's the fake screen. I'd rather just have them off, dude, or some type of log on screen or something there, you know? Maybe that's a good idea, log on screen. All right, so what you gonna do, bro? You gonna follow along? That'll be cool. All right, anti-aliasing, I have it on low. I noticed that, and this is probably in performance too, I noticed that when we have, and we're gonna look at the upscaling, this is probably saving a lot right here. But you can see it on the thrust vectors. It's not one straight clean line. It's kind of like you can see it kind of chops up. But you know, it's like, come on, man. It's not like it's a sword or some graphically. It's a line. The most ungraphically line in video gaming probably. So we don't need to put a lot behind that, do we? Anyway, enable buildings off, shadows off, vegetation shadows off. Turn all of that off, even though, because we never even see it. And I think you want to turn all this on if you're going to do a Tomahawk mission. I did a Tomahawk mission and it seemed like the tomahawks just flew over the water, and then they just crashed into the water, and it was a impact, but I couldn't see anything with water, and that's probably because I haven't had all of this turned on. I haven't gone back to test with all of this on yet, but we shall see. All right, upscaling for some odd reason, FSR2 gave me better performance than DLSS. I don't know if it was better performance, but DLSS was making the text look funny, and I couldn't take that. Matter of fact, I think the DLSS it might have been better performance, but the text, you gotta understand, these upscaling techniques are for like graphics, not text and lines and stuff. But I guess it does something, I guess. Upscaling quality, I have it on balanced. Yeah, I understand you don't have to have it. You could probably turn this down, but I do present a stream, so it's gotta look like something. You know what I'm saying? Motion blur off, just like every game. I don't know who plays with that on. And then underwater blur off. I don't know if that does anything about for performance, but it does make the underwater shots look way better, man, in my opinion. Move. Audio pretty straightforward. Music I have off because I play my own. It's only one song in the game. I see other streamers playing it, and I'm like, how the hell do they just listen? They must cannot. They can't hear it or something. So yeah, I got my own soundtrack, Master Volume 1, Realism, and this is what I had to say about this. Sensor effectiveness. What this does is it makes this like this is on ship sensors. Disregard what that says. What this is like easy mode. Do you want it on or do you want it off? Okay. Easy mode for your own sensors, which means that your sub is going to be louder and easier to detect. So I always keep this on because they're pretty on it. The game knows how to detect us. They don't need any help. They don't need easy mode. You know what I'm saying? But as for us, realistic OP4 sensors, disregard that. Disregard that. This is, do you want easy mode for OP4 sensors? Which means, do you want OP4 to be louder and easier to detect on your sonar? Just on the sonar, I guess. I don't know. Do you want that or do you don't want that? You, for surface ship hunting, you don't want that because you get little really thick lines coming down your sonar. Everything is really easy. But why would you want this off? If you're hunting subs, because they need to adjust this. At the moment in the game, when you have realistic sensors on, once you go under the layer, you can't detect anything. You can't detect anything. But when you have that off, you can sort of very faintly detect things from the surface under the layer. So if you just think about this, turning the volume up on ships, up or down, think of it like that. So in sub hunting missions, turn it off. Turn realistic off, because with it on, you won't detect the sub anywhere doing anything, because with it on, you could barely detect them then. Crazy, right? Crazy. So for me, most of the time, I roll with realistic on, but when we're hunting subs, realistic off for op 4, and that's it. Realistic procedure times. No, you don't want to wait 15 real-time minutes to deploy your towed array. So turn it off. Rigging torpedoes takes 15, 20 minutes in real life or something. You don't, it's up to you. Some people want to play this hardcore. Good on you, mate, you know. Okay, own ship damage. I'm not talking to you. Own ship damage. We got it realistic. Even though there is a damage model in the game, we've seen it. You can run aground and destroy the ship. I have rammed a ship and destroyed the ship. And we didn't get destroyed by a torpedo, but we got hit by a torpedo. And I think we had a torpedo accident one time. So yeah, they will end your game. So you know, you can get certain damage and it's not really represented. There's a red light, the alarm comes on, water's coming. I guess that is represented pretty, that your game is over. Op 4A, I have enough dynamic traffic population limit mid. Okay, yeah. I never do more than medium anyway, because the more traffic out there, the more will take resources and will drag your system. AI confidence, I've never messed with this stuff. What is, okay, incompetent, what is the other side? Seasoned? Well, I'm glad this is here. We'll leave it right here for the time being. Right now, they don't shoot at us in the game. So I would like to put this up soon. Maybe on Sunday. If we play Sunday, we'll up the ante and see if they do more countermeasures. Friendly AI, station AI. Friendly AI. Oh, I guess that's for missions. Op 4 global surveillance networks. I think this is so the Op 4 ships can talk to each other. Views. Some people say if you disable external views, you can get some good performance. Disable external views. That means you have to turn it on to disable it. Kind of confusing, but here's what it is. I keep them on because once again, I present deck roll synchronization. This is the pitch and of the deck whenever we're diving and surfacing. Keep it on. Like, why not? I guess some people might not. So that's cool. Any questions about the settings, man? Settings, database right here. We can go in here and look at the units of the game. This is the same thing. This is in the game too, so I don't think there's anything different here that's not. It is bigger though. You can see it. You can't zoom in when you're. They look kind of more. I don't know. It's just bigger. I guess they would only have pictures of it on the surface, huh? This is what it looks like underwater. I don't think they have any of those. Anyway, moving on. Settings, we just came from settings. Single mission. There's a bunch of single missions from the devs. Some of them, if not all of them, are cruel jokes. Get some gameplay out of here somewhere, man. A couple of these I don't know about. A lot of them, my only gripe about them is that they require a lot of transit in the game, and the time compression is not where it needs to be for that transit in the game. So if we have to go 98 nautical miles, count me out, because I'm not going to take what 2.5 days to do that shit if I don't have time compression, right? But anyway, also there is a brilliant mission maker that's out there in the wild right now, and once you configure, it's web-based. Once you configure the mission, and it will make a file that you put into the Modern Naval Warfare folder, and it will show up right here, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna jump into that soon, as soon as we get bored with the base game, and I'll keep my ear to the streets about if anybody puts together some good missions. Because I'm just like, like, what can you put together that's gonna be fun to play that we don't already have? But anyway. Campaign, of course. From Dusk Till Dawn is the first one. And we finished all of these. The Dusk Hunt, Midnight Watch, and Dawn Patrol. Rainbow Panda, I can't get AUKUS 2. We got AUKUS 1, but we could not get AUKUS 2 to load up. I don't know why yet. I was supposed to check on that. I need to check on that. Okay, and then quick mission. All right, you do a 1v1 against destroyer type, frigate type enemy, a convoy hunt, medium, random. I don't know, but the larger the size of the convoy, the more resources it takes. You can start in surfaced, shallow, or deep, or you could just randomize it if you're that type of person. Distance to enemy, close is like 4 to 8 kilojards. Medium, I would say like 10, somewhere in the 10 to 12, and you can even do far or random on this one. But I've gotten detected at medium and they ran, and it was hard to catch them. Close is kind of like they're right in front of your face, so it's not too much detecting to do, We'll do medium. Player platform. All right, these are the specific versions or blocks of the Virginia attack class submarine, and which each progressive block or version came more features, amenities, capabilities. The block 1 is a very throwback aesthetic. Think Windows 3.1 type stuff, you know what I'm saying? And all the way up to block 4, which has the sonar integrated into the photonics mask, which is pretty cool. We will be hanging out at block 3 because currently in block 4, the camera on the photonics mask is not functioning. It's crazy, right? All right, date selection. Now, I think they just added this, well, post release of the early access, but the colder it is, the larger the layer we get. Okay, and I experimented with this. I think I did January 2020, and we had like 121 foot layer. Usually if you don't mess with that in the summertime, around the normal area is 72, right? Then I went August 20, this is what I did last time, the layer was 13 feet. And I'm like, what do you do with that? I guess it just may as well not be a layer, because there's no way a sub can fit between 13 feet, and the ship's draught is probably close to that, you know, and it worked out. I was able to, but it was weird. It did make a difference. It made a big ass difference. All right, so to make things easier on us, let's try December 3rd, 2022. We're gonna start in littoral. It's like the shallows. Pelagic is like in between that, and deep is the deep. We're gonna keep it easy. Civilian traffic low. We already have a convoy. I'm wondering if we should we'll keep it. We'll see how it runs. This is the first time I'm streaming too since the last update. We just had an update. What was that? Less than a week ago. Time of day. Dawn. I always go dawn. Dawn is less hazier than day, but I've only seen the day with the summer. That was before we had date selection. So seeing that the layer was around 72, I'm guessing that it was hazy because it was hot. But that's something else that we have to explore. Weather, we're gonna go good. Of course, bad weather. That will draw on your resources. We got a pretty big, this is a pretty good load. We'll see if it doesn't perform right. We'll just come back and do a 1v1. All right. Questions on that?